Hello buddy, Crab here, and today we're going to be talking about drones, specifically drone ports, and how they always need a goddamn power line. See, the thing is, I hate having power lines running through my world, so I decided to build this monstrosity right here. You might be asking, what is it? Well, it's that. They're the same thing. It's a self-sufficient drone port, as I like to call it. It's not actually self-sufficient, but is close enough. So what exactly do I mean by self-sufficient? Well, you can see there's a fuel generator just sitting here. And what that fuel generator does is power this entire blueprint. How it works is our drones bring any form of fuel, this one being turbo fuel, into our packager. We unpackage said turbo fuel, which goes into a buffer, and then into our fuel generator, which turns on, power this whole system. The empty containers are then taken and sunk. And we have this power storage right here for in case you're over here in your hover pack, you don't want your entire circuit to blow up. Power storage basically just lets you hover around if you ever need to do so. For this specific blueprint, your miner is supposed to go in this nice little area right here. But I do realize sometimes you're in a cave or some other times you just don't want to build tall. So I made another blueprint, which is flatter and doesn't have the miner attached to it. So you can kind of just shove this on the side of a cliff and say, good enough. There's a problem though. This needs to be changed. The reason for that is we are bringing in turbo fuel, and turbo fuel needs to go into this bin right here. The reason for that is we're probably going to be bringing more than 10 turbo fuel a minute, which is how much this burns. So we have to have a nice little overflow storage container, because if we don't have this overflow storage container and then a sink option, our turbo fuel will build up in the incoming. And if all of our incoming slots are full, once a drone lands here, it cannot pick up outgoing items and take it to the main base. So we have to have this nice little overflow. Now, there are only really two options. I could either use a fuel power plant or a coal power plant, and I thought about doing both. Here is the conclusion I've come to. If you are not trying to maximize every resource in the game and you have the capacity to build a packaged turbo fuel plant, do so. The reason is, even if you're gonna use fuel generators, for every 1 turbo fuel you'll burn, I think, 5 to 6 fuel. So even though you do have to use sulfur and coal in this one, it is a whole lot safer and a whole lot more reliable when it comes to these far off station outposts. But if you do not want to use oil and you are close to water, you can use coal. Now you may be thinking, well, coal generators need a lot of coal a minute. Fuel generators need about 4 turbo fuel a minute to run, whereas coal generators can need up to 100 to 150 to produce the same amount of power. Well, the nice part about these is the expectation is you're going to be having a lot of drones coming here anyways. You're going to be trying to move up to a maximum of 1.2 thousand items a minute. So if you're bringing in 1.2 thousand coal a minute, you shouldn't have a problem with power. Now, you can also use petroleum coke, but I don't know how much it burns more than coal. I didn't look that up. Here's what I will say, though. You have to have water for a coal power plant, and if you're at the top of, say, a big mountain, there's not exactly any water up there. Now, setting these up are relatively easy. What we're going to do is we're going to grab some foundations, place down around 2 of them. Then we're going to take our miner. Make sure your miner's output is facing the opposite direction of where your fuel generator is. So if your fuel generator is on this side, your output should be facing the other direction. Then we're going to delete the foundations, grab our blueprint. I don't know what glitch has happened, but this is what my blueprint looks like right now. Why is it so big? What the hell? All right, I fixed the problem. Blueprint's back normal. What we're gonna do now is slide our blueprint over our miner. These 2 wire foundations in the middle that are in between the storage and the awesome sink, that's where the miner goes. So we're just gonna try and shove it in as best we can. Let's take a look at it. I'd say that's pretty good. Place down the blueprint, destroy the miner, replace the miner to get it on grid, and attach the miner to the storage bin right here because we need an overflow. And then there's this power nub on this side that the miner connects to the whole system through. Then we delete the power for the pump and packager. Now we're gonna put down a biomass burner. We're gonna overclock it a little bit and put some biomass in there. And then the packager, we're gonna put our turbo fuel in, our packaged turbo fuel. And then up at the drone port, we're going to put the batteries in. And then we'll just set a drone, let's say port 2. And I'd suggest overclocking your unpackager just so you can get things moving a little quicker. And soon our fuel power plant should turn on. Once it does, there we go. We're gonna leave it running for a second. And then after we do that, we will delete these power lines quickly and then hook it up to the main system again. And then we're going to set our drone off. We want to do this as quick as possible so this drone can go back to the main hub way down there so it can start bringing more packaged turbo fuel. Now, here's something you need to do yourself, math-wise. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take whatever miner and overclock it however much you want to get the exact power output you need. Once you have set up everything to how you like, which includes re-underclocking these. You could, if you want to, fully underclock your packager to produce the exact amount of fuel you need. I don't, because I like there to be an overflow in my fluid buffer, but you could do that if you want to, so you use less power. Once you figured out the exact amount you're going to be producing, you should set your fuel power plant to that exact amount, so you are using the least amount of turbo fuel possible at any given moment, and boom bada bing, everything's set up. Now you have a fully running, semi-self-sufficient power plant. What is that? Why are you there? What? Please don't tell me this blueprint is still broken. Is there a random bit that's going to be placed when I do this? Okay, no. I don't know why this is here. What is this? Why are you here? Okay, I know I just set this up, but I need to know if that gets deleted when I delete this. It does not. Oh, no, I'm dying from radiation. Why is this here? What is this? So while you can always use the normal drone ports that are powered by ugly power lines, and honestly, that is the much smarter decision, you can always trust a moron like me to overcomplicate things, but make them look pretty cool. Can't deny, it looks pretty cool. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe so you can get more funky ideas that are extremely pointless, and I will see you all next time.